Welcome back to another episode of The Quest for Self. I'm your host, Allie. Do you remember being that shy kid? The one who never raised their hand? The one who had something to say but didn't? Because of fear of what others might think? Because you let that fear overpower you and that fear became louder than your own voice. Have you ever felt like you didn't belong in the room? Like you weren't smart enough or bold enough or just enough? If any of this sounds familiar, this episode is for you. Today, I'm sharing my personal story with confidence. Not because I've figured it all out, but because I'm right here in it with you. Confidence is something I've struggled with my whole life. And only recently have I begun to feel the shift. Look, I'm not where I want to be yet, but I'm so far from where I started. And I want the same for you. The purpose of this podcast, passion, my drive, is simple. If even one episode helps you become a better version of yourself, resonates with you, then I can go to sleep happy. So let's dive into what's helped me grow and how you can begin to build your confidence too. Growing up, I was incredibly shy. I never raised my hand. I wouldn't volunteer even when I knew the answer. I was scared of being wrong, of sounding dumb, of being judged. And the truth is, I didn't have anyone in my corner saying, "Hey, it's okay to ask. It's okay to get it wrong. You're still smart. You still belong." That lack of reassurance stayed with me for a long time. It carried into adulthood, second guessing myself, playing small, staying quiet. But after going off to college, things started to change. I slowly grew into who I was, this quirky, outspoken individual, and I let that completely take over. A few months ago, I watched a movie called The Life List. It's about a woman who finds a list she made as a child. This list had things she wanted to do to feel alive. After losing her mom, she realizes she's been living on autopilot, stuck in fear, and not really living. That movie shook something in me. Not because I feel like I'm living on autopilot, but because I continue to strive to put myself out there and simply become a better version of myself each and every single day. The movie just reminded me that life is now, and sometimes we get so caught up in the past, the things we didn't do, the future, and wanting to control how things unfold. And we forget to enjoy the present. If we just take the leap and do the things we want with the best intentions, then life will truly start to unfold. Oftentimes, the life we want is sitting on the other side of our comfort zone. And well, this movie has pushed me to create my own list, a personal life list of things I could do to step outside of my bubble. And let me tell you, it's been a game changer. Around the same time my mom had a stroke about 3 years ago, that moment made everything feel urgent. It reminded me that tomorrow isn't promised. That if I want to live with passion, with joy, with intention, I have to start now. So let's talk about the practical things I've done to build confidence. This is what I call micro-bravery. Little things I've done that may seem small, but have changed everything for me, and in turn have helped me so much in building my confidence and my self esteem. Number one, smiling more and doing it on purpose. I used to walk around with a frown without even realizing it because deep down I was unhappy. Now I try to smile more, even on hard days. It's a small act that makes a huge difference. When I smile, people smile back. It lifts the energy in the room and within me. When I catch myself smiling, I even notice that people are more prone to approach me. And who doesn't love being approached? Number two, talking to strangers. Whether it's in an elevator, the gym, or a coffee shop, I try to strike up conversations with random people. It's scary. Trust me, no one said any of this was going to be easy. But it builds confidence each and every single time you do it. And the more you do, the more comfortable you become. Even saying something as simple as, "Are you using that weight?" or "Do you come here often?" can be enough to spark a human connection. Number three, holding eye contact. This one's tough. It's something I have been doing a lot lately. I try to look at people and not in a creepy way, but long enough to be seen, long enough to connect. And if I'm being honest, it still makes me nervous, but I do it anyway, and it helps. Just today, I decided to stare and even smile at my gym crush. And for the first time ever, one thing led to another, and we sparked up a conversation. Number four, going to events alone. Now, this one's a hard one. Recently, I went to a birthday party where I only knew the birthday boy. I felt awkward at first, but I decided to go anyway. Because even though I was so nervous about it, I knew I would walk out with a great experience and maybe having met some cool new people. And you know what? I ended up having a great time and, of course, met new people, made connections, and left feeling so proud of myself. Number five, doing activities that are completely new. I went to an open mic, and this was a big one. I was invited to a queer open mic for Pride Month, and I thought I was just attending. But everyone seemed to be reciting a poem. So I found a beautiful piece online about unity and decided to read it in Spanish in front of strangers. I actually decided to dedicate this poem to Mia. And someone in the crowd laughed and made a joke. For a second, I almost backed out, but I didn't. I looked him in the eye when I read the word authenticity. And in that moment, I felt powerful. Terrified? Yes, but powerful. So let's break it down. These are the 5 mindset shifts that truly helped me build confidence, and I hope they help you too. Number 1, reframe rejection. What feels like rejection is often just redirection. That guy laughing at my poem, his opinion didn't define me. Confidence isn't the absence of rejection. It's learning not to take things personally. Which leads me to number 2. Don't take anything personally. Most of the time, How people treat you is a clear reflection of where they are in life. It's not a judgment of who you are. Maybe they were raised to avoid emotional intimacy. Maybe they just don't know how to communicate well. Maybe they're tired, insecure, unsure, or simply not emotionally available. And guess what? None of that is your fault. Because taking things seriously means that we internalize someone else's behavior as a statement of our own worth, when really it's a statement of their capacity. Confidence grows when you stop making other people's behavior your responsibility. Number 3, be vulnerable on purpose. Vulnerability is a muscle. You strengthen it by using it. Recently, I was scared to tell somebody I wanted to see them before we both left on trips. But I said it anyway. It was terrifying, but also liberating. And that's what vulnerability is: fear plus truth. Number 4, micro-bravery builds macro confidence. Smile, start a conversation, go alone. These little acts of bravery stack up. They become the foundation of something much bigger: believing in yourself. Number 5, let go of being perfect. Perfection? Hate to tell you, but it's a trap. I used to think confidence meant being polished, put together, flawless. But I've learned it's about trusting yourself even when you're messy, even when your voice shakes, even when you stumble. So, if you've been doubting yourself, playing small, or staying quiet, this is your sign. Start now. Start today. You don't have to go full speed ahead. Just start with one thing. Something small that scares you a little but excites you a lot. Try these journaling prompts tonight. What would the confident version of you do today? What's one thing on my life list that scares me but also excites me? Pick one and act on it this week. Look, I'm not the most confident person in every room, but I am proud of how I keep showing up for myself. Because confidence isn't about being loud, it's about being you without apology. So if you're starting small, if you're still figuring it out, welcome. You're not alone. We're growing together. And if this episode helped you in any way, pass it forward, share it, talk about it. Because the more we normalize growth, the more space we create for others to rise with us. Keep choosing courage over comfort. Keep leaning into the fear, the awkwardness, the unknown. Because every single brave step you take, no matter how small, leads you to a stronger, freer, and more grounded version of yourself. You're already enough. Confidence is just the process of remembering that. Thanks so much for listening to this episode of The Quest for Self. If you enjoyed listening to this episode, like, follow, subscribe, comment, and share. It would mean the world. Also, don't forget to follow us on social media, The Quest for Self.